two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Part fools, put up your sword, you know not what you do. What? Art thou drawn about these heartless hinds? Stand thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death. I saw but to keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage to part these men with me. What sword and sword of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues and thieves. Come at me, coward! Capulet! Give me my long sword home. Thou villain, Capulet! But hold me not, let me go!
Not so. 1 foot to 6 bones!
You men, you beasts that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture, from those bloody hands throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. Three civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans, in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew!
Were you by when it began? You were the servants of your adversary and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more and fought on part and part, till the prince came who parted either part.
Where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad. Where underneath the grove of sycamores that westward rooteth on the city's side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of a wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, pursued my humour, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning has he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But also soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, Away from light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
Oh, my noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he is his own affection's counsellor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself, so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the same. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, he would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes. So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ah, me. Sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love.
Out.
Of love.
Out of her favor. Where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so rough and tyrannous in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eye see pathways to his will. Where shall we die? Oh me, what fray was here?
Your
Yet
father...
tell me not, for I have heard it all. It has much to do with hate. Yet more with love. Either no brawling love, oh loving hate. Oh, anything of nothing first create. Heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of world-seeming forms, feathered of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. Still waking sleep, no, that is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cousin, I rather weep.
Good-hearted what?
But thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of my own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown, to that more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke, made with a fume of sighs, being purged of fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed of sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else, a madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet? Farewell, my cousin.
Soft, I will go along. When you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tarts, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that you love?
What should I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. A word ill-urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good marksman, and she's fair I love.
And the right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrows. She has Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed from love's weak childish bow, she lives uncharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty, starved of her severity, cuts beauty off from all posterity. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me, forget to think on her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite and question more. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve, but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, my coz, thou canst not teach me to forget.
But Montague is bound as well as I, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honourable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you've lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. But woo her, gentle Paris. Get her heart, and my will to her consent is but a part. And she agreed, within her scope of choice, lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store, one more most welcome, makes my number more. Come, go with me. Sirrah, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
And the rank poison of the old will die.
Got a good end, sir. Pray, sir. Can you read?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly. Rest you, Murray.
Stay, good fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselmo and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio, and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, my uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
To supper, to our house.
To whose house?
Our master's. My master is the great rich Capulet. And if you be not of the house of Montague, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you, Murray.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I shall make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, but no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Oh, faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
How long is it now to Lammastide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Oh, even a rot. Of all the days in the year, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That she shall marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now, 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days in the year, upon that day. For I had then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove-house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain. But as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and felt it bitter. Pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dug. Oh, shame, quoth the dove-house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time, it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone. Nay, but the rood she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow, and then my husband, oh, God be with his soul, I was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, forced upon my faith, Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jew, quoth he? A pretty fool, and stinted and said, hi.
Enough of this. I prithee hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yes, I cannot choose but laugh, to think it should leave crying and say aye, and yet I wasn't. It had upon its brow as big a bump as a young cockerel stone. Oh, perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, forced upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It tinted and said, aye. And stint thou too, I prithee, nurse, say I. Peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. And I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry, that marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of. An honor? Oh, were not I thine only nurse, I should say thou had sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Lady, a man. Oh, such a man is all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower. His face a very flower.
Oh, what say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory that in gold cloth locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less, nay, bigger. Women grow by men. Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris love?
I look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I dart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Give me a torch. Look, I'm not for this ambling being, but heavy. I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Oh, a torch for me. Oh, let wantons light apart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. For I am proverb with the grandsire phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Tut, done the mouse. The constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire, or save your reverend love, wherein thou stickst up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight home.
And we mean well in going to this masque, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In better sleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab has been with you.
Queen Mab? What's she?
She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner, a small grey-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out to mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state, she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. On courtiers' knees that dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips
who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. And then dreams he of another benefit. Sometimes she driveth for a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of healths 5 fathom deep, and then anon, drums in his ear, at which he starts, and wakes, and being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very mab that plats the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them, and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage.
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew-dropping south.
Come, this wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars. Shall bitterly begin this fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life, closed in my breast by the vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. Unlusty gentlemen.
Welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove drooping with crows, as yonder lady all her fellows shows. The measure done, I watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now, forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
What lady is that, which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
This should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What, dares the slave come hither, covered with an antique face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. A villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Oh, content thee, gentle coz. Let him alone. I would not for all the wealth in this town here in my house do him disparagement.
When such a villain is a guest, I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What, goodman boy, I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master here, or you?
Patience perforce with wilful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet,
convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a gentle kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. Saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
But move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine my sin is purged.
And have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What's her mother?
Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise, and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked with all. I tell ye, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life's in my foe's debt. The more is my unrest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he that now is going out the door?
That I think to be young Petruchio.
What's he that follows that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, under Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! 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 My cousin Romeo! Romeo? Romeo!
He jests at scars that never felt a wound.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools to wear it.
Oh, it is my lady. It is my love.
Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks, but two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there in her head, the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy words. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? And Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me. And wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb. The place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I approach these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. And but thou love me, let them find me here.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. 'Tis too rash, too sudden, too unadvised, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have. For both are infinite.
Lady!
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honourable, thy purpose marriage, send me word by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, and peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Now will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
The grey-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and flecked darkness like a drunkard reels from forth day's path and Titan's burning wheels. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite. What early tongue so soon saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused with some distemperature. Therefore be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. So mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. Now when and where and how we met, we wooed, and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine has washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidst me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove, to turn thy household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow. They stumble that run fast.
Oh, Holiness, what news? Hast thou met with him? Oh, Lord, why look'st thou sad?
I am a-weary. Oh, give leave a while. Oh, fie, how my bones ache.
What a jaunt have I had.
I would I had thy bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I prithee, speak. Good nurse.
Speak! Jesu, what haste. Can you not stay a while?
Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that.
Oh, my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as it would break in 20 pieces. Oh, my back.
At the other side.
Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jouncing up and down.
In faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. Sweet love. Tell me, what says my love?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way, to fetch a ladder, by the which your love will climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge, and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to the church.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse.
Farewell.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate, two in one.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us.
Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
Mercutio, thou consortst with Romeo.
Consort! What dost thou make us? Minstrels? And thou makest minstrels of us. Look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort!
you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. Therefore, good Capulet, which name my tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Alistair Carter carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives, which I mean to make bold withal. Will you pluck your sword out of his poacher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Good Mercutio, put thy rapier up! Hold, Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
I'm hurt. A plague on both your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What, art thou hurt?
I... Scratch. A scratch. Marry, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain. Fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
'Tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered, I warrant, for this work. A plague on both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain, and fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was held under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio. I shall think. A plague on both your houses! They've made worm's meat of me. I have it, and soundly. To your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my cousin. Oh, Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woes. Others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective lenity, and far-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take thou the villain back again, which late thou gavest me. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy, that didst consort him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo.
Wave it on! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain! Stand not amazed, the prince will do thee death if thou art taken! I'm fortune's fool! Let us both stay! Which way went he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer! Which way went he?
There lies that Tybalt. Up, sir, go with me. I charged in the prince's name, obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt! Oh, my cousin. Oh, my brother's child. Oh, prince. Oh, husband, the blood is shed of my dear kinsman. Princess, thou art true. For blood of ours shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin. Cousin. I beg for justice, prince, which thou must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I shall be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
"'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Banished. Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell, howling, attends it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine and ghostly confessor, a sin absolver and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word banished?
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee though thou art banished.
Yes, banished! Hang up philosophy, and as philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more. Oh, wert thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, and our but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished. Oh, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, as one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heart-sick groans mist-like enfolds me from the search of eyes.
Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up. Run to my study. By and by. God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Who knocks so hard? It's coming what you will.
Oh, holy friar. Oh, tell me, holy friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
He is even in my mistress' case, just in her very case. Even so lies she, weeping and blubbering and blubbering and weeping. Stand up, stand up, stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Arthur. Well, death's the end of all.
Spakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer? Now that I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood, removed but little from her own, where is she and how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, but weeps and weeps, and then down falls upon her bed, and then starts up, and then on Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. As that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy did my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack that hateful knight.
No, hold thy desperate hand! Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish, and thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman in a seeming man, and ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? And wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady that in thy life lives, by doing damned hate upon thyself? But rouse thee, man. Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would have slain thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. Go. Get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence and comfort her. Go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady. Bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will. And know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris. I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I am sure she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next, but what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. Or Thursday let it be. Or Thursday tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Or Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her wife against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord.
Wilt thou be gone? 'Tis not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it, I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflects of Cynthia's brow. Nor 'tis not the lark, whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is't, my soul? Let's talk, it is not day.
It is. It is. High hands, gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for it divideth us.
Madam, your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
And window let day in, and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is the cause? 'Tis my lady mother.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Ever more weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst, not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
Would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. For now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, well. Thou hast a careful father, child. One who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, which thou expect not, nor I look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride.
What?
I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. Go tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet. And when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom I know I hate, rather than Paris. He's a news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Ah, now, can't we go? But still in tears evermore, shall we? Wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
So take me with you, wife. How will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed and worthy she is, that we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, yet thankful even for hate that is meant love.
Proud now, chop logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud, mistress minion you. Thank me, no thankings. Now proud me, no prouds. But fettle your fine joints 'gainst Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, our time-tied work, play alone in company. Still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demean, youthful and nobly trained, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in our fortunes tender to answer, I will not wed. I cannot love. I am too young, I pray you pardon me. But an you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Grace where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you be not. Hang, beg, starve, die in the street, for by my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Now what is mine shall ever do thee good.
Happily well met, my lady and my wife.
That may be so, sir, when I may be a wife.
That maybe must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now? Or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse you. Till then, adieu. And keep this holy kiss.
Or shut the door.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in my wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo's seal shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experience time, give me some present counsel. Or behold, twixt my extremes and me, this bloody knife shall play the umpire, arbitrating that which the commission of thy years and art could to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak. I long to die if what thou speaks not of remedy.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope as that is desperate, which we would prevent. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to many ashes, thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part deprived of supple government shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. And as the manner of the country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. And this shall free thee from this present shame, if no inconstant toy, no womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me. Oh, tell me not of fear.
Hold, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father. Aye, those are ties and best. But gentleness, I prithee, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. As a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, no. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead? Lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before to Romeo. I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not be, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? That's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault to whose foul mouth no wholesome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, it is not very like. The horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, is in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for these many 100 years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt yet but green in earth lies festering in his shroud. And as they say at some hours in the night, spirits resort. Alack, alack. It is not like that I, so early waking, what with loathsome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage with some great kinsman's bone dash out my desperate brains? Look. Methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo that had spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt! Stay! Romeo, this do I drink. To thee.
Hold, take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse.
They call for dates and quinces in the pastry.
Turds, the second cock has crowed. The curfew bell is rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Look to the baked meats, good Angelica, and spare not for cost.
Go, you cot queen, go. Get you to bed. You'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
Oh, no, not a whit. Would I have watched their night all night for lesser cause than their being sick?
Aye, you have been a mouse hunter in your time, but I will watch you from such watching now.
Oh, a jealous hood, a jealous hood. And now, fellow, what is there?
Oh, things for the cook, sir, but I know not what.
No, come, stir, make haste. Fetch some drier logs, Sarah. Call for Peter, he will show you where they are.
I have a head, sir, that will find out logs and never trouble Peter for the matter.
Mass and well said, a merry rascal. Thou shalt be a loggerhead. Good faith, 'tis day. And the county will be here with music straight, for so he said he would. I hear him near. Nurse! Wife! What nurse, I say? Go waken Juliet, go and trim her up. I'll go and chat with Paris. But I make haste. The bridegroom's come already, make haste, I say. He's there! Let me see her. Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff.
Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies in her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day.
Oh, woeful time.
Death at attain her hence to make me wail. Ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
O son, the night before thy wedding day, has death lain with thy bride. There she lies, flower that she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he has wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's. I thought long to see this morning's face. Doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day.
Oh, love. Life. Not life, but love in death. Oh, child, my soul and not my child. Dead art thou. Alack, my child is dead. And with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame. Confusion's care lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid, now heaven hath all. And all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. Dry up your tears and cast your rosemary on this fair course, and as the custom is, and in her best array, bear her to church. Sir, go you in. Madam, go with him. And go Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lour upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presaged some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathes such life with kisses in my lips, that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy.
News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou bring me letters from the friar? How does my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
She is well. Nothing can be. Her body lies in Gappel's monument. Her immortal bark with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently to post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing you this ill news, since you did leave it to my office, sir.
Is it e'en so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild. Do import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
Oh, no matter. Get thee gone and hire those horses. I will be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Now let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts a dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds, with overwhelming brows, culling of simples. Meager were his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones. Noting this penury to myself, I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. As I remember, this should be the house. Being a holy day, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary! Who calls so loud?
Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, here in this city visiting the sick, one of our order to associate me, and finding him, the searchers of the city, thinking that we both were in a house wherein the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth. And so my speed to Mantua was stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor find a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge and dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Go hence, Friar John. Get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll bring it to thee now.
Thou detestable maw. Thou womb of death. Gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus, I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite, I'll cram thee with more food.
Montague, I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gods, let them affright thee. Oh, begone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come armed against myself. Oh, stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bid thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Slain. Thou be merciful. Open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. Oh, what said my man when my betrothed soul did not attend him as he rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. One writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. How oft when men are at the point of death have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. How may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that have sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. Death's pale flag is not advanced there. Ah, Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean of horrid monsters keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Eyes look your last, arms take your last embrace, and lips, O you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
There's my master. Who is it?
Romeo.
The lady stirs.
Comfortable friar. Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be. And here I am. Where's my Romeo?
I hear some noise, lady. Come with me from this nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Thy husband in thy bosom, there lies dead. And Paris, too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet, I dare no longer stay.
Get thee hence, for I will not away. What's this? Cup, closed in my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl! Drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them. My lips are warm. No noise. Then I'll be brief. Happy dagger, here is thy sheath. There rust, and let me die.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest? What fear is this which startles in your ears?
Sovereign, here lies the Count of Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and you killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here is a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them fit to open dead men's tombs.
Oh, heavens! Oh, wife! Look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger is mista'en, for lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and is missheathed in our daughter's bosom.
Oh, me. This sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir now early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
What manners is in this to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of our church for a while till we can clear these ambiguities. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest able to do least, yet most suspected as the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned, myself excused.
Where's Romeo's man? What can he say to this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death. Then, in post, came here from Mantua, to the same graveyard, to the same monument. This letter did he early bid me give his father. Threatened me with death, if going into the tomb. I departed not. Left him there.
Give me the letter, I will look on it. This letter doth make plain the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies, Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, Brother Montague, give me your hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
And I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold. That whilst Verona by that name is known, shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his lady lie, poor sacrifices for our enmity.
Peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.